soul neath the wings of a bluebird helmet. Okay, so just, don't hurt each other. Oh, I could see neath the wings of a bluebird as she sings. 6 o'clock alarm never rings. When it rings and I rise, walk to sleep on my hands. The shaving razor's cold and it's still. She loves me, oh, I can't to
Already.
We have launched.
Welcome, everybody. You're listening to Planet Green Trees, officially episode 371. And while we like to play a lot of music at the beginning of the show and not go live, hold out as long as we can, we've diverted that tonight because we have in the queue a very special guest. We're very honored to have her calling into the show. I understand we have Michigan's next Attorney General calling into Planet Green Trees. There's a guest tonight. Please welcome, if it's true, Dana Nessel.
I believe she dropped, but it's just a connection. I'm sure she'll call right back. So why don't we do our intros as normal? And
maybe we should go back to the music playing. Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. It's episode 371. We're planning, as if I didn't reveal by my excitement, and we intend to have Dana Nessel calling in.
That was a lot of excitement.
A lot of excitement?
There was. The room was full.
It may have been Jim
full of excitement.
Anyways.
You should be thanking me for for getting everyone.
Let me
so
thank Jim
excited.
Powers first for being here tonight. Second for
You're
letting
welcome.
me believe that the Attorney General. And Jim, of course, is running the board over there, and he's in charge of the callers. So please, everybody, please give it up to our dear friend and the founder of Michigan Parents for Compassion, Jim Powers.
Thank you, everybody. That was quite a welcoming.
Did Chad leave because I didn't introduce
did.
him first?
He did. He's pissed.
Oh my God! Is it like that now?
Pissed.
Seriously.
Oh, Chad.
That's
See
like
what
didn't
happens?
We commit we weren't going to do this anymore.
Chad missed a show, and this is what happens.
You know what happened? He began talking immediately and drew attention to himself, and I just kind of went with it. This was not intended.
Are you saying that you introduced me second?
Yes. Should we start over?
I hadn't even really
Let's
noticed
go back
until you drew this much attention to it.
We're
I
going to
was
have
just
to
trying to go to the can.
It was actually not.
Let's go back to music, and we'll come back and do
No, we're
this
fine.
again.
Chad's here. Chad, let's
Good evening.
reintroduce
It's nice
Chad.
to be
Chad
here.
was introduced first, went to Jim, now we're back to Chad. Chad, welcome.
Good evening. It's very nice to be here.
All right, no. Deborah Young is here as well, sitting to Chad's left. Welcome, Deborah, activist.
Everybody doing good tonight? My girl's here tonight.
That's true. This is secret introduction. We've got. Let me say that for the highlight of the in-studio-ness. We've got young lawyer Josh Colton of Comore Law sitting to my immediate left here. When his first motion this past week is undefeated in Oakland County. Hashtag something very few lawyers have ever said.
Undefeated.
Welcome, Josh.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
And we have returning. I think he's going to try to have another go at the Hartwick. Is that right? Because you didn't have enough feedback before 9 o'clock. Our good friend, barrister, trumpet player, and a person obsessed with collecting medical marijuana cases, although I have, in the last week, stumped him twice of cases he didn't have. Please welcome Alan Peisner.
Good evening. Welcome back, my friends. If you have a marijuana case to defend, call the lawyer who will not bend. Michael Comore Law.
Alan.
Lovely.
It's good. I like that.
Alan Peisner will be
It's
your
getting better.
friend.
It's better than the other. This is best of it.
A little freestyle.
It was good.
My dear friend and warrior in the trenches with me, he's a internationally renowned attorney and guitar player, iguana lover. Please welcome Jeff Frazier. Hello. You know, I didn't get a chance really. I sent you that picture, Jeff, and we were talking about the recent events and stuff. But there's this lawyer that, and it's kind of out of the whole. It's a movie thing, but you know the original "Where the Buffalo Roam" with Bill Murray. It's like the.
It was a great movie.
And he's got the lawyer Laszlo, who, and even one point he gets called whether Laszlo even really exists or just like he's like, as your lawyer, I advise that you get out of this room right now. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like but he's there hanging out with him. But look at that. That's what I would say is Laszlo. That's what it was like. He shows up. He's got that. He's like leather, and he's like he's giving you advice. Like I'm telling you, like it was like when
I
we were
would hire
talking
him. Definitely, I'd hire him.
from the heart. But I mean that. It's like on the wild.
It's the attorney you want by your
Apologize.
side. In the thick
Apologize. Remember, right? Do not talk. Right. It's like a. Anyways, I've been waiting for the end. This is a little inside lawyer crazy stuff. We were blessed today to have running around with us in the craziness that unless you see it sometimes you would never believe it. We had the founder of Michigan Moms United and drug reform warrior of many, many years. And despite all of the pitfalls and downsides of this endless battle that just keeps pulling more victims into the battlefield, she rises again today and rode. I'm sorry. Please welcome Sharmi Golson, my dear friend.
Thank you, Michael. Rising. Thank
Right,
you, Michael.
the Falcon rises. That's what I was trying to get. I didn't even know the
Does this work?
Phoenix.
Is this thing on? Is this thing working?
I can hear you.
Michael, it was an absolute thrill to ride with you today and watch all that go down in the courtrooms. And I have hope. I feel hopeful after today because you know what? Do we have enough signatures to have a recreational marijuana law voted on in November of 2018? Do we?
Well, the state will tell us that shortly, I hope.
Will they?
They
Well,
should.
I'm
They
gonna.
will.
What do you think?
I think we do.
And I think now's the time for people to hear the truth about marijuana enforcement in Michigan.
Yeah.
And you're the guy to do it. So I'm very eager to watch the next 11 months unfold.
It's funny. It's not funny. It's distressing. I know we were, it's 2016. A lot of the cases are old. Like, the excuse may be, well, back then we were prosecuted, blah, blah. But even in the environment that we're in right now, you were in here when you overheard a little bit of a conversation of someone that had been victimized by a raid where they just tore up the place and like it left this, anger and hostility that in an experience that you can't really get away from. And it still exists. It's still
They're still raiding people.
emblematic.
They're still kicking in their doors. They're still taking their stuff. They're still taking their kids. We've had a medical marijuana law for 9 years. They're still using SWAT to investigate compliance.
It seems to
with
have
the
escalated.
act.
It's escalated.
It's escalating.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like
Thank God
the,
for you, Michael.
It's like
and Jeff and Josh and Alan and Chad.
These are the
all
good
of
guys.
you.
These are the
These
guys
are the
that-
good
yeah,
guys.
They stand up for everybody.
You know what Michael's problem is? He cares. His heart. He's like wringing his heart out. He cares about
Everything-
this stuff.
about
He's not just taking money
About
and being a dick.
everything,
Sorry. Excuse me.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
He's not.
Yeah.
It's all heart.
So
But better times are coming.
better times are coming. They are. We'd like to believe that. And I would say that, there was a parallel, Jeff. I know I'm going to talk vaguely about the couple of parallels of things that happened. I felt like, I would say this. I said, like, the impact yesterday was of where we are today and the view of this activity as a real thing was something we didn't really talk about. Like, we were thinking about equities and stuff, but, like, the view on it a year ago or 2 years ago to view it today when the state is like proving it's not so far out of the realm. You know what I mean? It's not like a thing that is, it's perceived as so outside reality. And I even think the case today we had, the judge said, I'm not, in light of what's going on in the state of Michigan right now, even whether I agree or disagree, this is what the voters, intended, right? The legislature wrote these laws. That's the representative of the people. Whether I agree with them or not, they don't really want punishment for this kind of behavior. Otherwise, they wouldn't have written, that, like, there was a resonance of that today in court. And I think we didn't really think about it yesterday. It was more, merciful, but there's maybe something to that, as opposed to, I don't know, like we were.
Well, right. It's almost judicial nullification, right? It's like, we always talk about trying to get the juries to acquit, but these developments with the state law making this type of conduct legal, you can study and get a degree in it now.
States holding classes.
I'm impressed. Walk in, somebody has 50 years worth of crimes and gets sentenced to 90 days in county special.
I have this. I've had this ongoing issue which I've worked on. Where remember early on, I would, being into chambers and talking to someone, and some prosecutor will say like, it's a gateway, and I couldn't control myself. I just launch, just totally. And but I've learned to not do that. Just listen and whatever. And it's not even that prevalent anymore. But I had a moment today where I was kind of just chatting with the judge. It doesn't matter what case it was, but about this. And he, I told you the joke he made about taking my